Notorious gang boss Ernie Solomon is being buried this morning. Solomon was shot dead while driving in Boksburg last month. eNCA reporter Monique Mortlock is covering the story for us. Monique, you did say earlier that the program was quite short, from 10 to 11, I think you said. What did people have to say about Mr. Solomon?
Yes, the funeral service is over, but right now in the Tusong Hall, what is taking place is a traditional Khoi ritual. So members that were part of Ernie Solomon's clan, they are now basically paying tribute to him. There was a small ceremony leading up to those tributes where they placed their staffs at the foot of the casket. So that is taking place right now. We heard from Solomon's son, Vito, a touching tribute to his father, speaking about the type of man that his father was, speaking about the fact that his father had tried to protect his family to the best of his ability, especially after the shooting in May, in which Solomon was wounded in a shooting. And after that, Solomon had moved to Johannesburg. As you know, on the 20th of November, that shooting had taken place. I do have his son, Vito Solomon, with me right now. It was Vito who paid that touching tribute to his father. Vito, thank you so much for speaking us, and my condolences on the passing of your father. You mentioned the type of man your father was. Tell us about who he was to you.
To me, my father was nothing more than my father, because he was always a father first. Whatever other people have to say to us, he was always a father first. So there's nothing bad I can say about him besides the fact that he was very strict on all of us. So we had it tough growing up, with always having to be careful of where you go and what you do, looking out, looking over your shoulder, but he always looked out for us and tended to us first. So he was big on family, and yeah, my father was a great guy in general.
And you made mention of the fact that he had done his best to protect your family, especially after that shooting in May. Tell us about the measures he'd taken after that scare in May.
Well, to him, losing another child wasn't something that he was willing to do or willing to go through again, as we already lost two brothers in the past. And we nearly lost my older brother Carlo the 11th of May this year. So for him it was just getting out of the way, but at the same time he was much more relaxed, much more at ease. He was an old man. He was 62 years old. He was in a retirement stage where he was basically had his own garden, everything that he did by himself. He grew his own herbs, all of that. So he was enjoying his last days, as I can say, as I can call it now, because it was his last days. But the precautions he took, he made sure that we weren't, that nothing happened here or anything. Yeah, we weren't in any danger. Unfortunately, my sister was with him when that happened, as she was doing a course that side.
How is she doing?
She's still critical. Our thoughts and prayers are with her every day, so we hope for a speedy recovery, but it's going to be a long recovery for my sister.
And her child? And
the child, yeah. The child is here. The baby, luckily none of her organs got it, so she's fine. So it's just the recovery process and learning to live with what she went through.
And my final question to you, how is the family feeling after what happened to your dad and your sister? Are there any fears, any concerns for your safety, or do you believe it's kind of whoever was after him, there's nothing that will basically move on to you guys?
We only fear the man above. We don't fear anybody else or any threats or whatsoever. So with that being said, Yeah, we live a peaceful life, so if there's any fears or whatsoever, or people feeling fearful, that they shouldn't worry, because my father, he was one for making peace with everybody. So he made peace with a lot of people. He always made sure that his family was strong and firm and stood together. So we've got our family, we've got the right support system, and that will carry us through this time.
Thank you very much. That was Vito Solomon, Ernie Solomon's son. He's the one who paid that moving tribute during the funeral service.